live on two different things. Let's switch the video over to this one. And wait for TikTok chat to pop up on my screen. Okay. I have no clue. No one can actually see what's going on over here. Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and get the update. Also, why? I like how I go live and my phone's just like, here are all of the notifications. Okay. Let's see if we can get Linux installed on this system really quick. And then walk through the steps to get it to be a gaming server. I still want to test out how good this is. I don't need that. I need that. And erase the disk and install Ubuntu. How do you spell pterodactyl? I'm going to try to get myself to learn how to spell pterodactyl. By typing it over and over. Pterodactyl. TYL. Let's do. Let's go with 1969 as the password. 9. No, I don't want to require the password to log in. That shouldn't affect any of the other stuff I'm about to do with this. What type of tech am I in? I am an IT guy. I work IT contracting. I do tech education on the internet, and I run a computer repair shop. Currently, I'm setting up gaming servers. You can switch between vertical and horizontal layout on Twitch? Yes. Okay. Once I have access to that, I am going to 100% do it then. Do I know the ESP Marauder? Do you mean the one that goes on this? Because that's the one I've used. AMD or NVIDIA? AMD. Like, both AMD and NVIDIA have gone hardcore into AI, but AMD has been failing at it more than NVIDIA has. And so AMD's been doing better in my book. Am I a software engineer? I am not a software engineer. I have not seen Reckless Ben's Part 3 video, but I want to see it so bad. I'm honestly contemplating getting like a month of his Patreon just to watch the video. Like, I'm not a fan of Reckless Ben. Like, Reckless Ben is the type of creator that drives me nuts because he was like the type of prank type creator and BS like that for a long time. But like, I'm hoping, like, he's already started to turn his content around from that, but like I'm hoping this gives him the extra push to like fully just do decent. I have no clue what that person was trying to say about the Marauder. Like I know it's a hacking tool. It's a cybersecurity tool. Yeah, the fact that he has a part 4 coming out. And also, okay, have any of you guys seen there's been multiple videos that have come out about the Bricks and Minifigs financials. Because oh my gosh, apparently that company is not doing good, but is throwing other people under the bus for their financials. I'm like, guys, so we now understand why you wanted the GoFundMe money. Rate your PC. Does it work for you? Then it's good. That's an old PC. Yeah, no, like, okay, I'm gonna get conspiracy brained for a second about Bricks and Minifigs. I get the feeling that the CEO and his brother realized the financial state that they were in. And when the stuff came up with that location about the owner leaving, they went, oh, this would be the perfect opportunity to have our two friends go take over that location and earn us extra money to get out of the financial strait we're in right now. Like, I would not be surprised if that's what eventually comes out as what happened. Because, like, the two guys that took over that store are friends of the owner of like the entire company and his brother, and they also live here in Utah. Like, yeah. Should you buy the PS5 Pro or the normal one? If you're shooting for like high end graphics, then it's the PS5 Pro. If you don't like, if you don't need the top of the line graphics, like me, I mean, heck, I don't see the world in top of the line graphics. So, um, but yeah, like that's kind of the toss up that I always do. I'm just like everything to me is blurry. So I think I might just block that person because good lord. Yeah, I'm gonna block them because as I'm muting them, they spammed like another 20 times. Holy cow. How to cool your laptop. There's a few different ways to do it. Um, where's the spare laptop that I have lying around? That isn't massive. I don't want to grab like one of like my 17-inch MacBook or anything like that. Where's my Linux laptop? Oh, here, I can use this one. Okay, so like imagine this is your laptop. This is whatever it's resting on. If you have it on the table, have something on the back to raise it up a little bit. That way you get a little bit more airflow back here. This one doesn't have the air ports on the bottom. It actually has it back here, and I want to say I don't know where the rest of the fact that it only has airflow right there confuses me on this model. Okay. But you want to get it up and off the surface a little bit, and you don't ever want to have it flat on a surface that is fabric. So, like, you know, when you're sitting in bed and you have your laptop on your lap on top of a blanket or your pajamas, like that is just going to cause issue because it's going to block the air vents and also pull in a lot of lint and things like that into your laptop and clog it up. Those are the two free ways to do it. The non-free way is to get a fan board, like one of those like things that goes under a laptop with fans on it. Any keyboards I would recommend for a person with huge hands? I'm honestly not sure. Because, like, from what I've been told, mine are bigger than normal. And, like, most keyboards fit, like, perfectly for me. Also, sometimes I can just be typing like this. It's fun. Yeah, a deck of cards under the back of a computer does wonders. Exactly what Finwo said over on Twitch. Oh, it's telling me to remove the installation media and hit enter. Okay, I'm gonna be muting some of the people who have been spamming. Oh, that just went from a 5-minute mute to you getting muted for the entire stream. Because I just noticed you spamming 3 more times. Hey, Zoe, how's it going? The glass on your PC case gets very hot while your GPU and CPU temperatures are fine. Well, like fine GPU and CPU temperatures are still like extremely high. So like hot to the touch, that'd be normal because you're looking at GPU and CPU temperatures that like on the low end are usually like 60 if you're using air cooler. And that's 60 degrees Celsius, which is like, isn't that like 150 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that? And so like even though your computer is expelling most of that heat, it's still building up in the system. Like it's still building up in the case. Cloud gaming on Chromebook or Chrome OS. I mean, it's an option. I'll be honest, I kind of wish Google had kept their cloud gaming system because I loved that thing. I also loved OnLive when it first came out. Like that was I was in the beta for that one and I used it for a couple of years and I loved playing games on that because I had the internet that could handle it. But that was very much early days. I have so much tech and I have a trash keyboard. Why? This keyboard is currently plugged into a system I'm installing Linux on so that I can remote into it. This is one of my random keyboards to quickly plug into a computer. Can you put an Intel chip into a Ryzen motherboard? No. You need the CPU that matches the socket that you're using. Oh, excuse me. You got auto modded on Twitch? What is my auto mod on Twitch doing? Where is Twitch for me right now? Oh, I know why. We'll just allow that message. You use a PS4 as an ambient noise machine? Holy cow. Which GPU do you buy for 300 euros? I mean, I usually recommend whatever would be like a decent AMD card right now. Oh, sorry, Noah. Try again next time. You don't want to spam the chat. What's the value of using hexadecimals for medical images? What do you mean? Do I know anything about IR blasters? I own a few, including the one in the zipper or in the flipper. Wow, I said zipper, didn't I? I recommend AMD over NVIDIA, especially right now. Like, NVIDIA has gone hardcore into AI and they heavily want to just be working with AI instead of customers. Like, I'm willing to bet if NVIDIA could do it, they would have done the same thing as, um, oh, what's the name? Micron. Uh, could a failed battery in a laptop cause other issues in the laptop itself, like freezing or other things? It depends on the laptop itself. Especially gaming laptops rely heavily on the battery to give it power as well as the plug itself. So if it's a gaming laptop, possibly, but it's unlikely. Usually, like freezing and other issues would be more motherboard issue or drive issue or things like that. Like I always say, if you go onto my website, second link on my website is PC Doctor Toolbox. Full diagnostic suite, free to use for home use. You only have to give them permission to use the data to make the diagnostic tools better. PC Doctor Toolbox is phenomenal. I highly recommend it being on your computer. That way you can actually run the same tests that like repair shops and PC builders use. Yeah, PC Doctor Toolbox is free. Absolutely free. I hit that button more than once. Linux or Windows? Windows. Like I love Linux, but it can only go so far and it's not compatible with a lot of the stuff that I work with, so it becomes a problem sometimes. Okay. Now that I have that working, let's move this out of the way. I can unplug the cable. I'm going to move the screen onto my actual desk here. May you beard me? What do you mean by beard me? I already have a beard. AMD or Intel? AMD at this point. Um, because like one of the best things about AMD is their CPU platform is, I'll be honest, I prefer it over Intel because like you have the AM4 socket instead of the LGA 1151, LGA 1574, like all of these LGA sockets. AMD has like one for like every five that Intel has, it seems. Oh yeah, no, I'm watching a certain chat and I'm seeing fun stuff come up. Windows or Linux? Windows because it's more compatible. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Um, let's open up terminal. Okay. Your internet is bad. Can that affect your FPS? No. Unless you're like playing online streaming games. You got a home lab set up from an old desktop PC. I mean, that's how I started with my home lab setups. About to take your A plus certification exam for Core One. Any suggestions or tips for the exam? Not really, because I haven't ever taken the exam itself. So, like, most of my tips are while studying it and like what to test and watch for and things like that. Which I need to update my tips. I've been trying to go through the newest A plus certification, but I have not had time. Issue of brother printers getting stuck in deep sleep mode. I've not seen. I run like 4 brother printers here. I have not seen any of them have that issue. Okay, I feel like it was more than one person spamming there. Oh, it was. It's just a much shorter message. Okay. Raspberry Pi or Orange Pi? Is Orange Pi actually a thing? Let me look. It is. I recommend the Raspberry Pi because documentation is more, especially if you're starting out. Like, I always recommend going with the thing that has more documentation when you start out early because then it's a lot easier. Also, if you are on TikTok or YouTube, do me a huge favor and tap on that screen. How to fix GPU sag. There are brackets that you can get to hold it up. How to fix stick drift on a controller. There is a program called Drift Guard that can usually help with stick drift on a lot of different controllers. It works best on like actual original Xbox controllers, so like ones made by Xbox, like this one. But it does tend to work a little bit on other controllers than that. What are the specs of my main PC? Pretty mid. I feel like anyone who's asking like what the specs on my main PC are expecting them to be really, really good specs. Ooh. I need to look at more of the fractal cases. I've been seeing a lot of those and they're really cool. Yeah, the Orange Pi, like it's based off of what I just saw on the quick, just like Googling it and seeing the first few results. It looks like it's a little bit more power than Raspberry Pi, but yeah, the docs and the documentation for it is a little bit more sparse. Okay, so yours is set on top of a server rack outside of a case, and it concerns me. Is the 4060? I mean, it's a 40 series GPU, yeah. Like anything like 30 series and up on Nvidia is going to be fairly decent at this point in time. Oh, it's your AI server? Okay, so I should come over and knock that one down. Do people still use floppy disks? Yeah. I mean, I probably have like 4 sitting on one of my desks around here. In my opinion, which PC brand is most overpriced? It's not a specific brand. It's a specific line within that brand. Um, the number one slot goes to Alienware, hands down every single time. And then the next one down is MSI, especially because of the repairability of MSI stuff. Like, you can't really repair it that well, or easily, I should say. Sudo. $19.69. Okay, now let's go to that directory. Okay, let's see. What other questions do we have? Oh God, I just saw what message popped up across my screen from Zoe. I'm gonna be horrified when I click this, aren't I? Okay, that is impressive. That is gorgeous. Zoe just sent me a picture of their desk, and that is holy cow. Yeah, no, most Alienware stuff is just the same as what Dell sells in other cases. It's just the Alienware stuff gets marked up, from my experience. Um, and then MSI ones, like the main reason I feel like they're always overpriced is just because they're not easily repairable. Like if I'm paying that much for a computer, I want to be able to repair it. And MSI computers, every time I open one of those things, it's not as bad as an Alienware computer when it comes to repairability, but ah, oh, Razer's another one. I just don't even think about Razer at this point because Razer had a really bad ad campaign that made me like wipe them from my memory. And I was a massive fan of the Black Widow keyboards. Like Black Widow keyboards were my favorite because that was the size of keyboard that I wanted with multifunction buttons. And like I loved my Black Widow keyboard. It finally gave up the ghost a few years ago, and I missed that thing. Like having dedicated like multifunction keys over here, like an entire line of them, so nice. Which legendary BIOS beep code means bad RAM? Usually, the BIOS beep code for bad RAM, on average, the most common one that is used is 4 beeps, and then a pause and some other beeps. Usually, 4 beeps means bad RAM. Like, you want to double check because sometimes they change their beep codes, but that is usually the most common one. Why a Dell keyboard? Because I'm working on a computer that's literally right here. Should I have like 5 gaming keyboards for when I'm working on computers? Do you guys not just have your like stack of junk keyboards for when you work on computers? Yeah, and Dell keyboards, like, look at this thing. It is dusty and crusty, and it still works just fine. This has been sitting on the shelf so long after I cleaned it, after I got it, that it is covered in dust. And I'm just like, doop, 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 doop. Works perfectly. Like, honestly, I could even go like this. And type just fine. Yeah. These little crappy Dell keyboards. Like, have you ever seen the scene from Wanted where oh, what's his name? The guy who played young Professor Xavier hits Chris Pratt in the face with a keyboard. If he had done it with this, the dude's head would have exploded. These are just good. You know it's not good? Chat spam. Holy cow, people. Instead of spamming, just go to the other places where I prioritize the questions. Yeah, Dell mice, I've had hit or miss with those ones. I have a bunch of old Dell mice that like are very well used and very well loved. But I'll be honest, I love this style of Dell mouse. Like this button right here changes the DPI, and you can see it based off of the how many lights are lit up. And so when I'm working in a small area like this, woo, it's nice to be able to change the DPI. Okay, what other questions are coming in? I kind of like the Gravistar mouse. The only thing I don't like about it is when I'm holding it. Let me see if I can get my hand in position so I can show you. Like, look at how scrunched up my pinky is over there. Like, my pinky is just so scrunched on this mouse. And I'm wondering if it's because you're supposed to hold it like this with your middle finger over the, like, scroll. But that just feels awkward because my middle finger is my right click finger. So you didn't expect me to have the Gravistar mouse. I've been making content for 6 years. Of course, Gravistar sent me a mouse. They also sent me my little charger dude over here. Oh, I actually have the wrong thing. I have my cable that's supposed to charge my laptop in a little bit plugged into him. That would have been bad. That would not have charged my laptop because it was plugged into the USB-A. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things that Gravistar makes. I love this little guy. And okay, no one talks about this, but the ears come off so they don't break off easily. Like they're magnetized on there. And then he can just hang out on my desk. Like one of my favorite things to do is put him in like this position. So he's like looking up at me while I work. It's adorable. His little wonky ears like in different directions, like, ooh. He's the goodest little boy on my desk ever. Let's see what other questions. Can you mod a Nintendo Switch without a chip? If it's like the OG Nintendo Switch, you can. But after the OG one, they patched out the stuff that made it so you could do stuff. Does adding an extra monitor put more pressure on the laptop and make it slower or something? Yes. It's going to take more graphical processing on your laptop to run the second monitor. I currently have 4 monitors connected to my computer because one of the monitors connected to my computer is this. So you guys can see it. And as you add more monitors, it takes more resources. So yeah, takes a like it's not a ton of resources, especially on a laptop. You're probably not going to notice having a second monitor attached. Once you do like those things where it's like two extra monitors on your laptop, you might see a little bit of an issue or sluggishness depending on your laptop, depending on how much it can actually do. But yeah. What is the question that I missed? There's an open source project for Cosmo. What's Cosmo? Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. This little dude. Because I know like 12 things that are named Cosmo. I'll be so for real. The first one that popped in my head is Artemis Bridge Simulator. Someone asked Ubuntu on customer PC or my own. This is gonna be a server. I'm setting up a test game server onto this little computer over here. Yeah, the one I pulled down is Vector. Cosmo is actually. Isn't he still right there? Nope. No, I moved him over to another spot that I can't get to right now. No, I'm not using AMP. I'm testing out Pterodactyl. What's my take on which VPN to put on your Proxmox system? I honestly don't know because I haven't. So my VPN is through my router, and then I just use that for everything. I don't. Wait, Pelican replaced Pterodactyl? Are you kidding me? Uh, do I keep this computer named Pterodactyl? Okay, why? Okay, there. See, this is one of the reasons I actually use AMP normally. So this is a comparison between the different gaming host servers, and this is AMP over here. All of those check marks. What's my daily driver OS? Windows. Just call the computer burp. When I actually do it as um an actual like full on server, this is just a test server because this server is going to end up being a virtual host that I show off in videos that I use for like here's how to start your home lab and things like that. But I'm testing out gaming servers right now because I kind of want to. Um, but yeah, like I'll probably use Burb or something like that. Oh my gosh. So many notifications on my phone. I am putting my phone in vibrate only mode. Also, one of those is a customer asking me if I've heard back from a supplier yet. And no, they've been asking me literally every day. And I'm like, was literally just the 4th of July, and we say that our turnaround time is longer than the time you've waited. I'll be honest, I'm going to try out Pelican because I'm hoping Pelican. I was going to do Pterodactyl, but now that I know Pelican exists, when did Pelican come out? That's not what I wanted if we want to. Because I want to see like when their releases were. Oh, this is going to bug the heck out of me. Oh, this is going to bug the utter living crap out of me. They're trying to get clever with their naming scheme. Okay, programmers out there, stop getting clever with how you name things. Because like one of these I'm guessing is plugins. And let's see. What are wings? Is wings a program? And then I'm guessing eggs are plugins. Or are eggs the different gaming server? Oh my gosh, do not get clever with your naming. We have terms for these things. So wings are the nodes you server nodes that you run the eggs on, and eggs are the games that you're running and are each individual virtual servers that are running. I'm about to go fetal. All you guys are gonna see is just me in the corner over there in the fetal position, rocking back and forth. Oh my gosh, I'm reading through this and it just gets worse. No. Well, no. Eggs are not the highly weird Docker config file. That is yolks from what I'm seeing. Yolk is the Docker version. At least I think. I could be wrong because they use a dumb naming scheme. Like, this is what drives me up a wall sometimes, is like programmers try to get clever. They're just like, I'm designing this thing. I'm going to call this the salt. And that just means the individual YML file that you use to salt your installs so that they're automatic. Why? That's an automation script. Like, seriously. Can I say hi to you? Hi, Rachel. I'm guessing that's your name because that's the first, like, or Rochelle. I might have pronounced it wrong. If you are a developer out there and you start getting clever with your naming schemes and you do stuff like this, know that a lot of us really don't like you. Whatever you name your stuff, make sure it's something soft because we're going to throw it at you. We're going to throw the physical version of it. Hi, Silly Bee. I mean, it's one of the reasons, like, I stopped using MikroTik forever ago because they, like, theirs isn't them trying to be clever. It's just them having a different language that they spoke when they created the system. But still, if that Alienware ever comes back to my shop, it's being lit on fire. What software do I use to test a PC? That's easy. You go over to my site, it's the second link on there. It's called PC Doctor Toolbox. It is free for home use. I use the professional version in my shop. PC Doctor Toolbox is a full diagnostic suite, and I love it. It is fantastic. What's better, 16 gigabytes of DDR5 or 32 of DDR4? 32 of DDR4 because most people will not see the speed increase themselves. Unraid TrueNAS versus it would be Unraid versus TrueNAS because Proxmox is a virtual environment host, while Unraid and TrueNAS. Well, isn't Unraid also a virtual environment host? But TrueNAS is just NAS. Proxmox is my vote for virtual environment host, and then TrueNAS is usually my go-to for storage. Now, Zoe, if you follow that up with saying that you're also going to name everything something clever and it's going to be different condiments from your fridge, and then the server is going to be called Condiment Rack, I will throw this mouse at you. Also, someone's going to steal. Oh my gosh. Someone's going to steal that idea, and like 6 months from now, we are going to see an entire server infrastructure system based off of names of condiments. So instead of Docker, we went with Relish because it's got little bits in there, and that's kind of how Docker is. I hate it. Ugh. I need to have a way on this computer that I can be alerted from Twitch, like when an ad is coming up. Because I don't really have an easy way to stop it from running ads completely. But I'd like to know, so I'm not. So I'll be like, I'm waiting for you to get back so I can crash out at the fact that this cold game images eggs. Did someone literally? Isn't the Acer Nitro 15 a laptop? Yeah, that's a laptop. The best GPU for it is the one in the laptop. Now I want American cheese. Someone actually answered the question. Why are printers always having problems? Because there are so many mechanical moving parts in a printer that can go wrong. And honestly, printers are not designed to be moved, but we move them frequently. And then we also, like, just don't use them enough. So, like, you will have it where your printer will no longer work because the ink is dried on the print heads. Like, so many times I will get people bringing a printer to my shop and being like, fix this. And I'm like, we don't work on printers. That became a new policy in the past year. Um, but usually they're just like, yeah, I haven't used this thing in 2 years, and I need you to get it to print. I'm like, did you run the thing to clean the print heads? And they're like, no, what's that mean? And so I make like $60 just pushing the button like 4 times. Do I have a boyfriend? I have a partner. What do you do if you installed Kali Linux and Wi-Fi doesn't work, even though you tried everything? For one thing, you're probably using Intel Wi-Fi. Isn't Intel the one that is notorious for not working with Linux? Um, and then why are you using Kali? Oh, excuse me. What can you do with an ESP32? There are a lot of things you can do with an ESP32. I am starting to work on a list. I just haven't had time to put into it yet. Um, Crazy. I have an annoying schedule right now. Yeah. Are you just gonna sit there and spam "bro is gay?" question mark? Okay. Picking an operating system. Is Ubuntu 24.04 still valid? Yes. Like, I want to use a different version of Linux, but I mean, that's the one I'm going with for right now. I'm gonna make a new folder. And it sure Pelican. 1969. I am now in the Pelican folder. Fedora is not on the list of ones that work with this system. At least not tested currently. I'm going to go with the ones that are tested to work with this system. No, not system like ARM or x86. I mean system as in the server software that I am going to be running on it. Currently, the list is Ubuntu, Debian, Alma Linux, Rocky Linux, CentOS. But Alma and Rocky have more issues from what I'm seeing here. I mean, I could go with Debian 12. That would be another good option. If I had known I was going to switch over to Pelican, I would have done that. Yeah. Why do I use Windows and not Linux? Because of the plain and simple fact that it's more compatible with stuff. Most of the software that I need for my job, I have to do through Windows. Like I said before, I'm only going to use a version of Linux that has been fully tested with this system. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this list. They'll probably have a better list later down the road, but considering I'm just trying to test this, I want to give it the best shot, so I'm going to go with what they say it works. You ripped your processor out of your motherboard. You managed to get the pins vertical again. I mean, honestly, if you were able to get the pins like bent properly again and it works, then you probably don't really need to worry that much. Um, yeah, I am running Pelican. Do I know Hydra? Hail Hydra. I mean, I didn't say that out loud. How did I start my business and how did I get customers? So when I started my business was strictly IT support. And then I started doing computer repair for IT companies. So that got me a few business clients just from doing IT support because you can find there's forums on Reddit where you can see like other MSPs and things like that looking for IT people in different states to do some IT work. And so that's how I got jobs for that. And then I also was friends with different MSPs in my area, and they started bringing computers to me to work on when they had like a high workload. And then they recommended me to other clients who like were just like one-time clients, and so they would bring it to me. And then eventually I opened it up for anyone to bring their computer in, and I started working with nonprofits that help get computers into the hands of low income people who can't normally buy a computer. And that gave me a great in to get my name spread around decently. And it's just about like word of mouth for computer repair is your biggest use. Like it helps so much. Do I still not like PCs for people? Yeah, because of one specific reason. Let me switch this video really quick. Oh, I'm typing on the wrong computer. There's one simple reason why I'm honestly still very frustrated at PCs for people. Their warranty has not been updated since 2023. And if we come down here, um, right here, this part right here in their warranty policy is illegal. It violates the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. And they still have it in their warranty, even though I like talked to them and was assured by them that they were getting new wording out, and that was back in like February. It's been nearly 6 months and they still have this on their site. Yeah, it's anti-consumer. Yeah, word of mouth is one of the best things for like IT and computer repair. I said Hail Hydra and you got the loading thing of death. Yeah, no, like the fact that they still have this in their warranty information, it like just tells me everything I need to know. That like they just pretty much lied to me and then just continued on doing, thinking that nothing would happen. And I'm just like, I don't really want to start a fight with a nonprofit. It just sounds like a massive headache for me right now that I don't exactly want. Like, if I can go over that stuff with another content creator and have another person helping me, then yeah, I will continue pushing that fight and getting them to fix what they do wrong. But for now, I'm just like, yeah. You made an ESP32 Wi-Fi jammer. Is it illegal to use? Yes. If you are in the United States, it is federally illegal to use that device. And then it depends on other countries. A lot of other countries, it's also very illegal. Oh, I don't want that person on my side. I do not like that YouTube channel. I've talked about it a few times, and I've gotten punishments from TikTok for talking about my opinion on that channel. It's only illegal to jam specific frequencies, yes, but Wi-Fi frequencies are covered under that. I mean, heck, that tool right there that has yellow on it was part of my job for years and years. I had to know the jamming laws. Yeah, I used to use a Wi-Fi pineapple regularly for work. And I used to use it regularly next to a federal building. um so that YouTube channel is sensationalized computer stuff where it's mostly based off of clickbait, and pretty much every year there's been another major revelation of them being horrible, or at least one specific person being horrible. Like I want to say last year was when Rossman Repair Group like did a big info dump about some of the stuff, and one of the things that came out was the head of that YouTube channel mocking someone else who is autistic. And like at that point I'm just like I'm done with your content forever. Like yeah, and he also talked about how when Rossman Repair Group went onto that channel, like there was an accident in the video, but Rossman even said leading up to it he's not really comfortable with what they were asking him to do, and they said, "Oh, it'll be fine even if stuff goes wrong. It's perfectly fine. We have you covered. Like even if you break it, we'll just replace it. It's fine." And then something happened, and then later on when Rossman brought something up, they tried to use that as, well, you broke this really expensive computer on our channel and we had to go through like all this process to get the part replaced. And it's just like, one, the person said they were not comfortable with doing that video, and two, you're using it as like, don't talk negative about me or else I'll talk about how you broke this thing, or we'll make you replace this thing. Like, no matter what, it doesn't look good for them. And like every year stuff like that comes out. Is someone seriously complaining that I'm talking about that when someone just asked about it? Wow, okay. Oh, I need to plug in my laptop. Sorry, I'm replying to messages really quick. No, that was not another warning from TikTok. That was saying that I was inactive because TikTok has a major problem where like people live stream just like movies, and so they've tried to like stop people from doing that by making them prove that they're actually there, and it makes it really annoying for like any creators who stream for long periods of time. Like I stream for 4 hours. 2 hours on TikTok and 4 hours on YouTube and Twitch. And so, like, the fact that they have that, I'm just like, anyone who streams for a long period of time will get that notice every hour, roughly. So, do I know about cars? Yeah. That was weird. I thought the mouse moved on that screen while I'm on my laptop. Your PC keeps shutting down and restarting itself without showing the screen. How do I fix this? Yeah, I have multiple chats at once. The priority chats are those two. Um, like, what do you mean it's shutting down without showing the screen? Like, it just goes black? Because if it just goes black, that's going to be usually that's going to be a heat issue. Um, then what's the other thing that it could be? It's shutting down. It sounds like it's probably trying to protect itself. Like usually there's a few different things that can make a computer shut down suddenly, and I need to know more information to figure out. Does it make any sense to get a computer science degree now? Yeah, tons of sense. Like almost everything has computers. The other thing I would recommend for your computer randomly shutting down is the same thing I recommend to anyone with computer problems. Over on my site, that website right there, second link is PC Doctor Toolbox. Run that on your computer and see if it finds any hardware issues. Do I stream on multiple platforms? Yeah. I stream on 3 platforms. I'm going to be streaming on 2 platforms in like about an hour because I turn off the TikTok stream for the last 2 hours of my stream every day. Well, every month, wow, every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. What's the easiest way to know if you have malware on your PC? Uh, Malwarebytes and Bitdefender. Your laptop cursor is freezing. Okay, so that's usually a soft lock. And if it's only 7 months old, like, are you doing a lot of stuff on your computer when it freezes like that? Because it could be a heat issue. Um, it could also be an underlying hardware issue. But usually stuff like that makes me think heat issue. Like you're running a lot of stuff. Your computer is getting overheated, and so it's freezing. Um, but only soft freezing. Is PC Doctor a sponsor? It should be. We're currently working on that. If you guys use the link in my bio to go and get PC Doctor Toolbox, that helps me be able to get them as a sponsor because it makes it so I could go, hey guys, see all of these numbers I'm getting you? See how there's a ton more people using your software, making it so you guys have more diagnostic data to make your diagnostics better? Because that's the trade off for it being free. If anyone was wondering why it's free, it's because they use the diagnostic data to make the diagnostics better so that they can sell the professional version of the diagnostics to people like me. Are OLED monitors worth it? I think so. Like, I think they're pretty nice. Like, the colors really pop. But, like, that's, you get that with most HDR screens, but OLED, like, there's something about it that makes it feel alive. Can I give you a good recommendation for a monitor? No. I have very crappy monitors. Like, I am not someone who would be able to recommend a monitor. Hey, Jaden, thank you so much for the gift. Do I know a way to get a pentalobe strip screw out of an iPhone? So the thing that has worked for me, let me see if I have any really quick. Ooh, this tube is dried out. Um, but there's a couple things that I've tried and they've worked for me for getting those type of small screws out. Putting a little bit of B7000 or whichever version of B7000 you're using in your shop. Most shops have this lying around. Putting a tiny dollop of it on there and then letting it somewhat dry so it's like that like sticky, tacky, like rubbery type state. That can get into the little cracks, like the crevices in there, and make it so your screwdriver actually works a bit better. The other thing I've tried and it actually works is the um like adhesive pull tabs that hold down batteries in iPhones or also screens on laptops. Like the thin version of those, putting it on top of the screw and putting it on there. Because the trick is the classic trick with like Phillips head screws, like the normal like wood screws. If you put a rubber band in it while it's stripped and you put a screwdriver in there, usually it works. Um, so yeah, I recommend this. Anything tech? Yeah. I mean, I won't necessarily be able to answer it. Fair risk. Do I like Linux? Yeah. What distros? I mean, I still like Ubuntu, even though I don't recommend it, and I really like Mint. I might like Pop OS again. I need to try it. It's been a while, but yeah. Do I know how to hack? I used to. I used to do cybersecurity. Ubuntu or Kali? For everyday use, Ubuntu. For Kali, it would just be for pen testing. Do I know how to program Arduino? Yes, I've done quite a bit of that. That is fun. The first time you do it, it's a pain in the butt, but as long as you follow like the documentation, it's fairly easy. Yeah, I don't understand people who use like Kali Linux or Parrot OS Security Edition as their daily driver. Like that one I never understand. I'm seeing the person asking the question about nonprofit work. Give me a second. Okay, so sorry about that. Customer came to the door, dropping off a hard drive for a data recovery. Um, yeah, no, when I started my repair shop, it was very much a side gig. I was doing a lot more IT contracting when I started my business. One of the things I highly recommend if you are running a repair business while doing a side gig, have like the thing I did the first 2 years of my computer repair business. If I had to step out of the office for doing something like an IT contract or something like that, I would have a sign on the door that had the date and it would say, had to step out of the office for the day, will be back tomorrow or whatever day I would be back. If you show me a picture of this sign, you will get this percentage off of your service fee. And I specified service fee because I didn't want to have to lose money on parts. That is what I always recommend if you are going to be doing two things. Can your laptop run GTA 6? You only have 4 gigabytes of RAM. No. Yeah, even the makers of Kali Linux say you should not use it as a daily driver. Ah. Opinion on the 9070 XT Sapphires? I mean, they're good cards. I've worked with them. I've used them. 4 gigabytes DDR4, good or bad? I mean, it's fairly low. Oh, you only have 4 gigabytes of storage? Then definitely not, because I want to say GTA 6 is most likely going to be like 200 gig or something like that. Like, especially because it's Rockstar, it's unlikely that they're going to optimize it enough to fit on a smaller space. How do make drone? I mean, there's a few good kits online. Can you play GTA 6 with a Pentium? I can test it. You guys didn't know this has Pentium, a Pentium processor in it. Let's see if I can get it up to the camera so you guys can see Intel Inside Pentium. I miss those stickers. Those stickers were so legit. Did I hear about Rockstar and PlayStation having the trap? I don't know what you mean. I don't remember which Pentium this thing is running, but it is not a very powerful Pentium. I think it even. I think this one only has 4 gigabytes of RAM as well. Thank you so much for the raid. How's everyone doing? Don't mind me just setting up gaming servers right now and answering questions from chat. Okay, I'll be honest. Getting distracted from setting up gaming servers right now. Because that's most of the time what happens when I stream and I'm answering tech questions. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce your name. Is it Vitengale? I don't know how so many streamers just look at a name and know instantly how to pronounce it. Right? Like, hey, I pronounced it right off the bat. Yay. Thoughts on Rust? The opinion I have on Rust, I've gotten from other people who have used it. Decent, like easy to learn. That's what I've heard. You use 64 gigabytes of RAM. You have 3 Google Chrome tabs open. This is not my first raid. My first ever raid I got was on my previous channel. Um, the first ever raid I got was back when I was doing Minecraft streaming, and Pimp My Minecraft raided me because I was one of the few streamers that had a face cam at the time. I figure they're not asking about Rust the game because at this point, Rust the game is very old. And most of my audience is not old enough to know what Rust is, even though it came out like a decade ago. Really? They lied to me? It's not easy to learn? Dang it. I'm fidgeting with a tube of glue, and that's going to end very poorly for me. Oh, yeah, no, I know a lot of people still play Rust. I mean, heck, one of the games on the list for, well, I know it's on Amp's list, and I think it was on Pterodactyl's list, is Rust. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, Maddie has been an amazing mod for me and an amazing help as I've been doing all of this stuff. Um, like, I'll be honest, going back to streaming, like I used to stream like over a decade ago. And going back to streaming has been a very daunting thing, but it's been a lot easier with Zoe and Maddie's help. Both of them have been amazing. Can a bad CMOS battery stop a laptop from booting? It's fairly rare that it'll stop a laptop from booting. Most of the time, it will just tell you that the CMOS battery isn't good. It'll tell you that it can't pull the previous like settings and the settings have been refreshed. That's usually what's going to happen with that. But honestly, there are a few cases where a bad CMOS battery can stop a computer from booting, but it is extremely rare, like less than 1%. Huh? A Nintendo? Is it a? I'm guessing it's a Nintendo Switch One. Sneaky Psyduck, right? Because I'm trying to think of what issues Nintendo Switch has that could cause it to not be turning on unless it's plugged in and you hold down the power. The fact that you have to hold down the power, that makes it sound like it's restarting, like it's you're holding down the power and it's turning off completely and then you're turning it back on. So it's in a weird state. Oh, who do I know? It might be getting stuck in a sleep mode, which makes me think that there is an issue with one of the components on the actual board if it's having that issue. Because especially in a Nintendo Switch, it is very rare for it to have an issue unless it is a deeper issue. Like, um, who do I know? There's a few TikTok creators I know who work on Nintendo Switch. Let's see. Um, who is one of my Why am I not seeing ink? Oh my gosh. Am I mutuals with this person? No, I don't even follow them. Do they still upload? 2 days ago. Okay, they still upload. Because I'm trying to find. I have a few mutuals who do board level repair. Oh, I know possibly who could answer the question. I just became friends with them the other day. Let's see if they do. They do more retro stuff than modern stuff. Dang it. Yeah, what? Because it's screaming component issue. Wait, is this who I think it is? Oh my gosh. I need to message them. I just found out the shop that I recommend to people is on TikTok. Um Okay, sneaky Psyduck. Send me a message. I'm gonna reach out to a couple people, see if I can find someone who knows. Because you might like the thing that honestly might be the recommendation is sending it into a place that can repair it. And I'm gonna reach out to a few and see because I have a few mutuals who do repairs on Nintendo Switch, and I want to see if I can find someone who can. So either message me here on Twitch or if you want to send me an email, bearded@thebeardeditguy.com. Yeah, my guess, I'm guessing either battery issue or it could possibly be a CPU issue because there is the fun CPU issue with a lot of laptops where they get stuck in between sleep mode and powered on. They don't realize that they're in between those two modes. So I'm wondering if it's something similar to that with laptops. How do you create your own cloud? That would be called a NAS, a network attached storage. It's pretty much taking hard drives and putting them in a computer that just you can connect to over your network. You won't be able to use it outside of your house unless you set up some fun, fancy things, or it's a fun, fancy modern one that'll help let you do it outside of your house. But yeah, what you're going to be looking for is a NAS. Also, if I don't let my cat out right now, she's going to be very unhappy with all of you. If there's a local device repair shop near you, I highly recommend taking it in, especially if you have a local like game store near you. A lot of local game stores have in shop repair. It just needs to be an independent game store, not like a GameStop. Oh, Raptor is talking about their issue that they're having logging into Twitch, and I've run into the same issue. So I love when websites don't update their their credential reset site. And so like one of the pages in like a 5-step process just doesn't load because like they've updated to a new system and they didn't properly bring that over. I've had that with Microsoft. I've had that with Twitter before it got taken over by the horrible richest man ever. And then what was the other one I had it with? I cannot remember. But honestly, Raptor, you might be able to reach out to Twitch support if you're using this correct email address that's associated with it. Tails and Wings, you're heading off to bed. Have a good night. I'm going to be messing with apparently wings and eggs in a minute because I'm going to be setting up Pelican. And it uses weird names like that. Yeah, no, Twitch support is actually not terrible. I had to contact them because on my Twitch account, it said I was an affiliate, but on any of the pages for like earning and everything like that, it's like, you're not an affiliate yet. Come back when you're an affiliate. And I'm like, okay. I contacted support. Like they didn't like they replied to my ticket and like got it all working for me before they even replied to my ticket. I had an email saying that like I was an affiliate and like they just reset my affiliate status. I'm just like, oh, perfect. Okay, what are some questions that are coming in on the other platforms? How's it going, TikTok? Who's better, Linux or Windows? Linux is better, but Windows is more compatible with things because more businesses and programmers will program for Linux instead of Windows. For a beginner, TrueNAS or Nextcloud? I'm not sure because I've not tried Nextcloud. Has anyone tried Nextcloud? Oh yeah, I fixed all my issues that I've had with Twitch. Even one of my accounts that I didn't have access to, I was able to get help from Twitch. From what I'm hearing, Nextcloud is. Would you guys recommend Nextcloud or TrueNAS for a beginner? My gut is going Nextcloud because I love TrueNAS, but it is a little like I wouldn't say it's hard or anything like that, but yeah. Oh yeah, no. TrueNAS is the one that I really like. Um Media Vault, is that another option? I'm being told Media Vault might be your best option. I need to go through different systems. Like that's what I'm starting right now. That's literally why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to figure out different options for people for different things. Like I use AMP for my game servers and things like that. Which Linux is better? It depends on what you're doing. Like for basic use, I prefer Mint, Jellyfin or Plex. Jellyfin, especially after Plex went. Hey, so we're up in the price to like $200. Yeah. Is Azure worth learning if you want a career in IT? Yes, especially if you're going to work IT in a like office. Yeah, I have not found the Twitch error. Okay, someone's saying Nextcloud for a beginner, so I would try out Nextcloud and Open Media Vault. Um, those two would probably be the beginner ones, and then TrueNAS would be the next one you would go up to. How do I handle backups? Do I replicate data to an external drive or use an encrypted cloud backup? I do quite a few different things. It depends on what I'm actually backing up. For my system, I use shadow copy, for one thing, just by default, and then I have backups going onto my network. And then usually the backups on my network, I also have backup onto an external drive or a drive that I can hot swap. I don't have the most robust backup solution for my stuff, and it'll probably bite me in the butt at some point. But hey, if that happens, that just means I don't have like terabytes of files to sort through. Is 16 gigabytes DDR5 enough for gaming? Honestly, I usually recommend 32 gigabytes as like your starting range at this point, especially if you're going to do gaming. Um, yeah, like 32 is just way more serviceable at that point, especially if you have like a game open and a web browser, because that web browser is going to take up a lot of RAM. Someone asked which graphics card is better. There is a link on my website under tips and links. That is GPU benchmarks right here. It is the green one. You can compare two different GPUs on there. You're currently working as IT help desk support. You want to explore more. What path should you choose? Same path I recommend to everyone. If you're going to work in tech, you should have a home lab of some sort. I am currently setting up what can be used as a home lab. This little micro desktop can be set up as a home lab, and usually they're fairly inexpensive. Um, does Bluetooth gaming mice have latency enough to affect FPS games? Not that I've seen. I've been told I'm wrong about that, but not that I've seen. A web browser taking up RAM? I've never noticed. As the web browser is in the corner just eating sticks of RAM, just housing an entire stick. Is the server for me? Yeah. I am setting up this server. Eventually, the server is going to be set up as a Proxmox server to show basic like home lab server stuff. But right now, I want to test out gaming servers on it, because I want to test out Pelican, but I don't want to set it up on my servers right now because my servers are big and hot, and so I prefer doing it on something small and not as warm. I need to find that video where I snacked on a stick of RAM. I have a video where I'm holding a bag of RAM and I'm pulling out RAM sticks, talking about RAM, and then I just snack on one. Oh yeah, TrueNAS is a good way to learn about like IT and storage and stuff like that. I wonder if I can find that bag of RAM. I think I still have. Like it's just like it's laptop RAM in electrostatic safe bag. Is there a way to mod a Switch 2 without getting bricked? Not that I know of currently. Because the Switch 2 they've tried to make fairly robust so you can't mod it. Because Nintendo is very upset about people modding their systems. They want you to use their systems as they intend, so you give them more money. Test out FIGO OS? I've never heard of that one. What's it? I'm guessing it's a fork of something. Like, what's its base? How's it going, people on TikTok? Oh yeah, ECC RAM is spicy. We don't munch on the ECC RAM because we're mayo complexion. At least I am, and we don't tolerate the spice that well. Which I'm so sad about because I have a really delicious Korean barbecue snack, and it is just a little bit too spicy for me, and it's making me so sad. I found a seaweed snack I really like, and I want more of it, but it's a little bit too spicy for me, and that is rare for me to run into. Is Linux great for local AI? I don't know. I don't work with local AI right now. Okay, let me go grab this seaweed snack so you guys can see. I got two flavors of it, and I'm almost out of my teriyaki flavor. I like how I looked over at the screen to see if I actually had my camera on for you guys to see. Um, yeah, but the Korean barbecue one, like, it is delicious, but like, I can only eat like half of a thing of seaweed, like, from it at a time before my mouth is going, "You're going to die." The teriyaki one, very good. I'm gonna eat that one a little bit. Your PC keeps boot looping. What point does it get to before it restarts? I got these at Winco. I've been going to Winco more. I'm a Winco person now. Ooh, I'm being told Linux is better for local AI due to lower VRAM usage than Windows. That makes sense. Oh, but you can only really run nerfed versions of anything. Okay. Yeah, no, like, so people frequently ask me about my AI takes. And for one thing, I'm waiting until the bubble pops before I actually do a ton of stuff with AI. But like, a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't, like, you still like local AI, right? Local AI is fine. I'm like, guys, you do not want my opinion on local AI because you're probably running local AI. I think local AI is a waste of resources currently because it's like having a mainframe that has remote desktop access for all of its users. So you have a remote desktop environment that is sitting there running, and then everyone sets up their own new desktop instead of using the server that has desktops for everyone. Like, that's how it feels. I can see some uses in it, but everyone I've talked to, it's just like, yeah, I just have it sitting there. I'm like, why? And then some people are like, oh, I have it doing this. And I'm like, is it doing it better than this free tool you can use that also uses AI? Well, no, but I'm just like, I get wanting to have like your own cool self-hosted stuff. It's really fun. But when it comes to AI, it just feels so wasteful and so energy inefficient. The problem with AI is capitalism. Capitalism is always the bad guy. Have we not watched enough Dimension 20 to know that capitalism is always the bad guy? My PC specs, this one, that one, that one, that one, that one of those two, this one. That's just the ones in arm's reach. Someone called me their favorite furry. No, We are Barley fans in this household. Go apologize to him. Go apologize to the polar bear. Do I need to go full Barley? How? Wow, 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 wow. There we go. I'm the bald version of Barley at this point. Why does your internet only lag on games like Fortnite, but other games it plays just fine? I mean, Fortnite is a fairly. I used to do streams from my kitchen. Fortnite is a fairly network intensive game from what I've seen because it's so many players in the same session that it doesn't surprise me that Fortnite would be the one that would be giving you trouble. You may also want to see if you can switch servers on Fortnite. Yeah, you might be set to the wrong region. Where are you? Oh, my chair's sideways. I keep my chair this way so I can put my foot on it. Oh, you're stuck on the loading with Asus logo and the circle pops up. And then it goes to automatic repair. That usually means your drive is failing or Windows just needs to be reinstalled. You can like usually back up your files from it using something like Linux, but it's a bit of a pain in the neck. If you want to back up your files, I recommend taking it to a computer repair shop to have them retrieve the files and then reinstalling Windows. Holy cow, we're like 10 minutes away from me ending the stream on TikTok and only being on the other two platforms. So I should probably talk about this. If you are on TikTok watching me right now, there's only a few of you in TikTok watching me right now. Yeah, that sounds like your drive is failing. If you reinstalled Windows and it's still having the issue, most likely that is your drive failing. You can't really upgrade from TPM 1.2 to TPM 2.0 without money. What do you do? See if the drive is having issues. You can, well, without being able to get into Windows, that's going to be a little bit harder. Because there's ways to test it, but honestly, if you go online and you look up Hiren's boot CD and you do a USB drive that has Hiren's boot CD on it and then test the drive using Crystal Disk while loaded off of that USB using Hiren's boot CD, that will tell you if that drive is failing. That is pretty much the only way to be able to test that. But if it's an SSD, it might not actually tell you if it's failing. But yeah, I would recommend getting another drive and installing Windows on another drive and seeing if that works. Because worst case scenario, if it's not the drive, you have another drive to store stuff on your computer. Also, anyone who is on TikTok right now, if you guys did not know, live stream is going to be ending on TikTok in about 10 minutes. But I am still going to be live on the other platforms for 2 hours. So if you still have questions, I will be on there. Yeah, no, did anyone see the gears turning in my brain? Like, okay, all you have to do is load up Windows and load up PC Dr. Toolbot. Oh. There was full on the moment from Project Hail Mary in the book where Rocky says, hold screws better. Use hand. Use second hand. Use third O. That's what went through my brain right there. Yeah, so if you test it with Hiren's boot CD using Crystal Disk, you should be able to know if your drive is failing. That'll tell you if you need to replace your drive. Most likely it is the drive failing, since based off of what you described as the issue. Ooh, okay. I need to pull that up on a computer. Where do I have a window that I can pull up? Nope, that's not the. Nope. I messed everything up, guys. Okay, there we go. I just pulled up that OS to look up later after I'm off stream. I have like multiple tabs of things that I have to look up after I'm off stream. Um, when you first turn on your computer, the fans go really quick and then they slow down. Why is that? Because it's a couple of reasons. So, for one thing, it's to make sure that the fans are working. Um, Also, like legitimately, I was told by an engineer that that's one of the reasons that they have that, and it's just carried over from like the 80s. Um, it also helps get any of the dust off and get them unstuck. So they've just kept that policy. It also is because your computer's just turning on, so there's a lot of heat generated when your computer just turns on. And so it's trying to cool it down very quickly. And it's also trying to get the airflow to start going quicker than it would have if they started ramping up slowly. So like when you first turn your computer on, usually the fan will go boom and slow down. Yeah, it's normal. What is 2 plus 3 times 4? 14. Figo also sounds straight up like another one of those streaming platforms. Like, have you guys ever gone to like the site Just Watch to find out where you can watch a movie? And it has like 3 different platforms that you've never heard of before. You're just like, what the crap is Bebo? What the crap is Bio? Why is Ahu here? Like, what are these things? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another reason that the fans go to 100% is because the controller hasn't fully booted, but they're getting power, so they're just like, ah! Anyone that is on TikTok, in about 5 minutes, I am going to be turning off the TikTok stream. So if you still have questions that you want answered, there's 2 other places you can ask those questions. I will be live for another 2 hours after this. It's just I end the TikTok stream early. Um, there are plenty of people hanging out in both those other chats. At some point, I need to figure out a way for both chats to be able to kind of see each other. But I read off the chat enough when people have questions. Someone legitimately asked how to get uncensored AI. That would be Grok. And it makes me concerned that you want content that should not be made. How do you make wigs? Glue and a lot of hair. Oh, I thought someone was trying to trick the or test the IT guy, but no, it was just answering someone else's question. I do not know what LLM would do jack shit because I don't use LLMs. That is an old system, Mason. Holy cow. A GTX 1650 and a 6500 processor. Oh no, that is newer. Okay, I was reading that as Intel 6th gen. 6500, that'd be a Ryzen processor. I got so worried for a second. My brain forgot AMD also uses. Someone asked over on YouTube, I say upgrading from a 2060 Super to a 9060 XT 16 gigabyte is worthwhile in a PC with a Ryzen 5 5600 and 16 gigabytes DDR4? I mean, the first upgrade I would do would not be the GPU; it'd be upgrading that RAM to 32 gigabytes. Dax, you're here. Do you know GPUs well enough to know the 2060 Super versus the 9060 XT? Oh, it is an Intel processor. So I was right. Okay, yeah, no, that is an old computer. Dang it. Okay. Um, because honestly, my instinct is always to go with an AMD card in a computer that has an AMD processor. Um, but I don't know how those two compare. So the thing I'm going to recommend, I would do it for you right now, but I'm about to turn off the other live in like a minute. If you are over on TikTok, that is where I will be for the next 2 hours if you want to ask more questions. Um, but for the person asking if they should upgrade their GPU to the AMD, I'm going to show you. On my site is GPU Benchmark. On that site, you can pull up multiple GPUs and compare them. So that way you know which one performs better. Even if the 9060 XT is like 1% weaker, I would still say go with it just because you'll probably make up that boost with the Ryzen being your CPU. Yeah, 3050s are like, even though prices have gone up on everything, comparatively 3050s are not that expensive. I still go with AMD though. Is the Flipper Zero worth it for network attacking? No, because it does not built into it have network equipment. You would have to get modules to plug into it. If you want to do network stuff, you're going to want to go with something like a Pineapple. Or there are plenty of other tools by Hack5 that are dedicated to network stuff. Especially their new SharkJack. They have a SharkJack with a screen now. But we have hit the 2-hour mark for my stream. So, anyone that is over on TikTok, listen up. If you are on TikTok right now watching my live stream, I will no longer be live on here. I am going to be live on the other places for the next 2 hours. So if you have a computer question that you want answered, there are 2 places you can go. I see people asking questions right now. Sorry, I'm not going to answer any more TikTok questions. Everything is going to be on the other 2 platforms. So if you want answers to your questions and you want to ask me things, go over to that. That there. I will be answering questions on there. Probably if things slow down, I'll also be playing Arkham Knight because I've been hooked on that game again. It's been a while since I played it. So yeah, we're gonna be going over there and we are going to be gaming and hanging out. And probably on Sunday we'll also be playing Jackbox. Because I've been wanting to play that and I think it'll be fun. Thank you so much for the gifts, Fightingale. That is awesome. You are amazing. Yeah, so go over to the other 2 platforms. If you do not know where the other two platforms are, easy thing. Just go to thebeardeditguy.com. On the homepage, you can find the other two platforms right there. Links for everything. But I will say goodbye to everyone on TikTok, and I will see you guys later. I will be live on YouTube and Twitch. That's the first time I'm actually saying it because I'm going off on TikTok. So they can't punish me for saying, go over to YouTube and Twitch to get your questions answered. Bye, everyone who's on TikTok. I will see you guys later. I think someone asked how I share my screen with like the live stream. It's because I'm streaming from the desktop. It's kind of annoying to do it on TikTok, but on the other platforms, it's super easy. So Mason, you have an Intel 6500? That is okay, so the person asking about the upgrades for their computer, and I recommended 32 gigabytes. So do you currently have, like, what is the RAM situation in your computer? I know you said you have 16 gigabytes, but is it two sticks of 8 or is it a single stick of 16? And how many slots are in your computer for RAM? Oh, my power connection for my controller. You want to play COD and Fortnite? I don't think you'll be able to on that system. You're probably going to need to upgrade to a new system. Okay, you have two sticks of 8. Do you have 2 free slots on your board? Because if you have 2 free slots, 2 sticks of 8 would be perfectly fine to put in there. You could also do a 16 gigabyte stick and then later down the line add another 16 gigabyte stick so that you have a lot more RAM down the line. But yeah, like usually it's better to have 2 sticks of 8 than 1 stick of 16 because dual channel helps with performance. But it's not a must in your case because you already have 2 sticks of 8. Vitingale doing the things that I should be doing. Guys, go ahead and tap on that screen if you are on YouTube. Also, make sure you like the stream. And if anyone is wondering, yes, I do put these live streams out live on YouTube after I am done streaming. I haven't been doing it for a lot of the past ones just because I've realized there's things that I would need to edit out, but I've been doing a lot better about not doing things that I shouldn't be on stream, like showing my email address accidentally. Which, let me see if Xbox has fixed this. Because one of the worst things for doxing me has been Xbox. Because on the home screen, it has like a spot where it would say my email address. And I don't think it says it anymore, which makes me so happy. I feel like you should be able to play Fortnite on your hardware that you have, Mason. Um, it's just you probably will need to be playing it on very low graphics. What is the best motherboard for a 13600K? Um, usually for, well, especially for Intel, my favorite line of motherboards is going to be the Asus. Um, like Asus is usually what I go with these days, but it all depends on like what you want to spend. So I would look at what Asus has in the price range that you're looking for. Ah, yeah. If it's 1 a.m. for you right now, Finro, go to bed. Go to sleep. you could get any brand of RAM that you want. The main thing that you're going to want to try to do is look at the speed of your RAM, which you can do through Task Manager, I want to say. Let me make sure. Sometimes it doesn't say it, but most of the time it will. Yeah. So, no, I didn't mean to double click. Oh, this is all. I pulled it up on my streaming computer instead of my. I'm just like, there's a taskbar here. I'll pull it up on here and then show you guys. So, on your RAM right here, it'll tell you what speed it is. You want to make sure you get the same speed. That is the main thing you want to do. You want to make sure it's the same speed as the RAM you already have. That way you're not accidentally spending extra money you don't need to. Oh yeah, if you are gaming, you should be using Ethernet instead of Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi does not do well some of the time, and so having better Wi-Fi will help you. Someone finally said a comment on my video that I was waiting for anyone to like mention. Most recent video I posted, like they skimped out on this motherboard, and it's likely that the motherboard broke the CPU to the point where the CPU will not work in other motherboards. Is there anything else I want to steal from here? Oh, I can't steal anything else from here? I want the Mr. Freeze gun. Yeah, Asus motherboards are the ones I usually go with. Just because um I've had better luck with them and like less issues in a lot of ways. I like how they're just like, we're not stopping him from walking out with that gun. Okay, what other collectibles should I get in here while I'm here? There's just one. Okay. Also, yes, I am still looking at chat in case anyone asks tech questions. I need to up how much I'm putting in these holding cells. Do I know whether it's bad in BIOS to have power saving on standard? Not really. Like, you might want to turn it off. Like, if there's a BIOS setting for power saving with the old system that you have, you might want to turn it off. It might give you a little bit more of a boost until you can like get an upgrade. But yeah, for the most part, based off of the parts you have, saving up for an upgrade is what I would recommend at this point. Like that's one of the reasons console gaming is like the easier one to get into because like it's less expensive to upgrade and things like that. And for like an upgrade for you, usually I recommend, especially at this point, getting like $1,200 saved up to upgrade your system. Now let's get some more stuff. Yeah, I would put it on performance if there's actually that BIOS setting. Also, in Windows, having it on performance isn't a bad thing. Like, oh, that's not a bad build for 900, honestly. It depends, though, if it is upgradable. That's the other thing. Like, usually, if you're paying a lower cost for it, it ends up being the fact that it's not upgradable. So you'd have to buy a whole new system down the line. I don't want to do that one because I haven't leveled up enough with that. I want to see if I spot where, because like taking on a full-on group of people right now is kind of scary. I think one of my favorite things is the fact that I stream for 4 hours, and I'm just like, if this was at my shop, giving this much info about things and answering these many questions, it like I would be charging a lot of money for it. And people are just like, I won't even make the switch from TikTok. And I'm just like, okay. No skin off my back. I'll game and have some fun. Also, I need to unplug this screen. Oh, it actually went to sleep mode. Good. Oh no, I just bumped the mouse and pop back up. Okay. Let's unplug that monitor for right now. Let me see if I can copy and paste that. If it lets me copy and paste it, I'm gonna look up. Okay, yeah, no, straight up. What motherboard is that? Come on, specifications. It doesn't say what motherboard it's running. But honestly, like looking in there, that doesn't look like a bad build. I'll be honest. Because, like, that build right there, for that price, it would be a good upgrade for what you have. Why so serious? Yes, it is upgradable from what I can see. It looks like a standard, like, I think that's either an Asus or an MSI board in there. I couldn't get a good look of what the board is, and it doesn't list it on the specs, but it is just like a standard motherboard. It's not like custom to that system. Ooh, here's the ooh. I forgot that he accidentally killed his wife in the process of this. One of the things I kind of miss in I need to play through the entire Arkham series. I loved like going through Arkham and talking to like the other big bads from the games, like the ones that you don't actually interact with in that game really. That computer should run COD because it's a 3050, it's running a Ryzen 5. Yeah, like every spec that I saw in there should be able to run COD. Let's see, which of the 3050s it's running? 6 gig. It's the 6 gig 3050. Like, honestly, that's a lower tier card, but it should be decent for you for a while. Oh, I didn't realize I was actually controlling this. I'm sitting here talking to you guys, waiting for what I thought was a cutscene to end, and no, I'm actually controlling something. Oh, this is annoying. It goes down so quickly. Am I missing something about this? Because it just seems like it goes down so quickly that even the time to switch it. Oh my gosh. If we go back down to 30, I'm going to scream. I want to answer questions in the chat because I've seen chat go off a few times. But if I look away from this, I'm going to spend another hour having to do this. I don't even want to look at what I'm at right now. Also, the stick drift on this controller is giving me issues. I need to fix this controller. Oh my gosh. Stop breaking. This is so infuriating for someone who has to deal with progress bars frequently. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, that worked. Oh, Maddie, you need to tell me about it. I want to hear. I want to hear drama. You can private message it to me. Yeah, no, put it in the mod chat. Do I know how to bypass factory reset protection on a tablet like a Samsung Galaxy Tab A? I don't know of a way to do it on Apple because Apple is so strict about it. The Samsung tablet one, there might be ways around it, but I don't know. Oh, the drama. What's my favorite 2000 CPU? My favorite one. We agree on. I absolutely loved the Core 2 Duos. I loved. I had 4 servers on those. They like, oh, I love those. Um, yeah, but the Samsung reset thing, I want to say I know creators who have said that there's ways around it. I don't know them off the top of my head. A 5090, but liquid cooled process. Ooh. Yeah, no, I really like big builds. It's just I don't have one. Yeah, the Core 2 Duos, they were just there was something gorgeous about those. Okay, I kind of want to watch this video and see. I did not look at what mixers you were using. I need to look at that picture again. Fourth gen Intel i3 with a GT 730. Oh my gosh. Are you just using like Word editor? Because that feels very much like only using a Word editor and probably only Notepad at that power at this point. Okay, let's watch this go horribly wrong. There goes his serum. Oh, that is so tragic. This is one of those stories in the Batman universe that is just so sad and tragic to me. 8 GB of DDR3? Okay, that makes all of my computers seem like the most powerful computers of all time. Okay, let's see. Where is the man bat? Oh, do I not know where he is right now? This is Batman Arkham Knight. I love this game so much. I like Arkham Knight is one of my favorite Batman storylines because I'm a massive fan of the Red Hood. And like this game is done so well. I really want to get the Batman Lego game. That is on my wish list on Steam. At some point, I will save up and get that one because it plays a lot like these games, and I have been wishing that there would be another Arkham series game. I also like how in this game, when you drive the Batmobile and you hit anyone, it like electrocutes them. I think I just sent them into the next universe. Come here. The Batman games are so much fun. Like I've beaten this game. This is gonna be the second time I beat it, and oh, it's so nice. I like how Leagues Beyond Your Computer is still a DDR3 machine. Oh, am I right? Am I right by where I think I am? I am. That's the crash site where Barbara Gordon was kidnapped to. I can't wait to hear more about this. I think I'm also going to get a month of Patreon for Reckless Ben just for the Brixham Ninny Fix stuff. Oh, I should message my partner. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. That was. I have a massive cannon on my thing. I should be. Okay, Mason, that's gonna make me. That I feel bad for your computer now. Like the poor cooling system on that. That sounds horrendous. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, where's ah attack mode? Also, I'm realizing I really need to get my Discord up and running for people to join in. I usually don't have PCs delivered to me to fix them. I just have people who are in the local area bring their PCs in, and also I'm most likely closing my repair shop at the end of next month. I was going to do it at the end of this month, but apparently most creators have not been getting paid promotions right now. And so it has been hard for me to get paid promotions to be able to pay my bills. And so closing my repair shop would not be the best idea right now. I mean, I have some really old systems and some really weak systems, but it's usually because like I like collecting some old systems. Like I have my TI oh, I just forgot what model it is. It's like TI 14A or something like that. I have so the GPUs I have at this point, I have multiple 1060s, which are decent GPUs for their time. And then I have multiple 1080s at this point. I don't have any 1080 Ti's. I don't have any of like the revision versions. I have a Founders Edition 1070. Yeah, there's sometimes I wish I had never gotten rid of stuff, but at the same time I'm like, I kind of need to at all times. Oh, I have the remote control battery. I'm just like, how am I going to get to that? Oh, I missed it. Oh, I think it still worked out. Okay. The one I wish I still had is my IBM computer that I grew up with. I wish I still had that system. At some point, I might see, like, if I can make enough money, I might see if I can buy one from someone who doesn't want theirs anymore. Because that was like what I literally grew up on, and I loved that thing. Oh, I keep holding down left bumper because I'm used to Hitman controls. Oh, crap. I don't know where I am now. Ah! Okay, this is the thing that's happening. Okay. The controls are a little unwieldy for the remote control battering. Oh my gosh, are you seriously going to try to play GTA 6 on your computer? Dang. That that's going to be set. Oh, that'll be impressive if it works. I need to do like what's it called? The micro ITX build. Also, yeah, that was a direct hit. Once I realized how to slow down the battering, that made it so much easier. Yeah, but Zoe, like Crisis is just the way you test if something's a computer. So a weak computer can play Crisis. There's someone just hanging out up there. Hey, 30 FPS for Crisis? Not that bad, especially back in the day. How's it going? Okay, the fact that you overclocked it explains why. Did he just throw a guy at me? I'm not gonna make it through this fight. Yeah. Ugh. Oh yeah, no, like breaking computers is the way to learn about how to work with computers. Like seriously, people ask me all the time, "How do you learn about fixing computers?" I'm like, "Break a computer." I need to get the medic. Oh crap. Dang it. Oh, my hand's cramping up. Ah. What have you been waiting for, Mason? Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna pause for a second, let my hand decramp. Mm. I need to actually I want to set one of my goals in life. I want to have in my house like an area where I have like computers running Windows like 95, 98, XP, like the decent Windows versions. And so that way I can like tinker with them and show them off because I think that would be really cool. It'd also be a pain in the butt. Let's see if I can scroll up and see what Mason was asking. I must have missed a question. Yeah, I've already answered your question. I don't have PCs delivered to me to repair. I would do it with hardware. Like some of the hardware I would replace with like I would have SSDs in all of them instead of a spinning disk hard drive. But like still have the classic CPU, like get higher end hardware for that day and age, like whatever the highest hardware that I can find that I can still get for that. Because like you can still get a lot of hardware. It's just you need to know where to look. And I think that would be awesome. Like also having virtual versions also would be awesome. Especially in this day and age. You can like drastically like emulate older hardware. I do not know. I do not know what connections your motherboard would have. I forgot one of the reasons that this game, like, I wouldn't play a ton of it is because it would cramp my hand so bad. So, most likely on your motherboard, Mason, you're going to want, like, let me look up because is that the SATA version of the drive or the SSD? Yeah, no, that drive likely won't fit in your in your system because based off of what you've said about your system, it's too old for that. You're probably going to want to go with a SATA SSD, not a M.2 SSD. I didn't want to go out the door. I wish I could kick them out the doorway and get them like shot by the other stuff. Oh, come on. I kind of hate these fights in this game where it's just like, yeah, there's like this full army fighting you, and if you didn't level up a ton before you go in here, you're uber fucked. Like, this is the one annoying thing in this game that drives me up a wall. Because like I wish like even in combat, like most of the stuff you unlock in combat is more combo moves. And I'm like, no, I just want to like upgrade how much I hit for. Ooh, that would be fun. Doing a YouTube series for CompTIA A plus certification, like a study series for A plus. That would be fun. No, 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 no. I can't even see what I'm doing because they keep pushing me into the corner. Okay, now I think I can take care of the last of them. Fuck you. Stay down. Oh yeah, no, like even people who didn't start as gamers, like gaming is a good way to teach them about things. Like even if you didn't start as a gamer, normally you will still know gaming enough. How'd that strike on target go? Oh, okay. I need to rest my hand for a second because like this muscle throughout here is hurting like none other. Oh, and I might wrap up stream because I'm getting very hungry and I need to go cook food. Oh. Anyone got any final questions before I wrap up stream? My main goal over the next month is trying to get people to come over to this platform to ask questions like YouTube and Twitch, because that helps out a lot. If I can answer questions over here, it helps. Where'd all the rum go? I drank it all. I actually have rum. It's one of the few things I have in my house, like, that's alcohol. That and cooking wine. I have a lot of cooking wine. It's useful. Oh, I need to finish up some computer repairs so that way I can go to the grass store. That is my next goal. I have 2 computer repairs that I need to get done, and then quite a few computer part like things to get done. Like giving people list of what parts and how much and everything like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna have this as a permanent thing whenever I build out my new streaming setup. Like once I change my office over and things like that, I think this might be a permanent fixture. There is a like one of those orange coolers that people keep like Gatorade and stuff like that in, and uh, I have drink in it. I have Kool-Aid. It's from the 4th of July, but there was still ice in it yesterday. Like even have a redeem on Twitch, because I used to have a hydrate redeem on Twitch, but it doesn't work with my setup currently. I need to get that stuff working. I think I need to do the hydrate redeem again and just have this cooler here and just like fill up the entire cup. And then do I have a preferred source to buy Windows 10 keys? Not really for Windows 10. Like for people who are buying Windows 11 keys, at this point I tell them to buy them from Microsoft. I will be honest, like I do not like G2A. I chugged that way too fast. I do not like G2A because it is very like there's too many people who use that as a money laundering site to do scams. But for Windows 10 keys, that might be the best place to go right now. But for like Windows 11, I tell people to just get it from the Microsoft store because it ties it to your Microsoft account. And I know so many people who end up losing their key because they don't know like the account that it's on or like what email and things like that. I'm just like, if it's on your Microsoft account, then you have it. Unless your Microsoft account gets taken away for some reason. But like most of my customers, I've been telling them, get it on the Microsoft account because then it'll just tie it to your account very nicely. Oh, I know like all Windows 11 keys tie to your account once you use them. But if you buy it through the Microsoft thing, it makes it just a little bit easier. And most of the people I work with as customers like need the little bit of extra help. That's one of my favorite things is the fact that Microsoft got it so it's tied into the BIOS. Oh, thank you, Microsoft, for doing that. And yeah. Also, I have multiple computers that do not have Windows activated just because they have a license key, but I have to reset that computer like every few days for some stuff. And so having an unactivated version of Windows is not the worst thing in the world. You might still be able to upgrade to Windows 10 for free. You might want to try that first before buying a key. Because Microsoft kept that system online for like the longest time, but I don't know if it's still online. I haven't tested it since like doing Windows 10 exclusive installs. Also, don't mind me just stretching my leg like none other. You guys can't really see it, but I have my chair here and I'm like pulling the Spider-Man from the new Spider-Man trailer, which I cannot wait for that movie to come out. I I'm so excited about Spider-Man. Also, I am so happy that it turns out that Zendaya and Tom Holland got married. I just want to know how long they were married before anyone knew. Like I don't care what the date was. I just want to know roughly how long because it's funnier the longer it is. Oh, you have a copy of 8.1 with that's unregistered. Okay. I mean, we should have known that they were together ever since he sang Umbrella. Like the faces Zendaya gives during him doing that are not the faces of someone who's a platonic friend with someone. Those are the faces of, do you think I can convince them to let him keep that costume? Like, I'm pretty sure there is a dent in the bone on her finger from that day. They are adorable. Especially recently, there was like a interview, like they were both on a red carpet, and there was an interview where someone asked Tom Holland like where they're going to get dinner or something like that after, and I can't remember what her middle name is, but he calls out Zendaya's middle name because he knows. I think it's Marie. It might be Marie. Um, but he calls out her middle name, knowing she will hear his voice and her name that is not normally used, and instantly be like, "Oh, Tom's calling." Like it's so adorable. It gives me hope in humanity, honestly, and I kind of needed some hope in humanity. Yeah, no, that's a third generation Intel. That is not going to run Windows 11. I used to have that CPU. Holy cow. Oh yeah, for the Avengers he is the dedicated leak man, which is kind of annoying because Mark Ruffalo so much worse at releasing information accidentally. Yeah, third generation Intel. It's a 3770K. I used to stream using that CPU. That yeah. Um yeah. No, I can imagine that yeah. Please tell me you're not currently using the system that has that 980 in it, Maddie. Okay, okay, I can. Yeah, if it's like one of those custom builds where you're just like, I can finally build the epic gaming system from 2008. Fantastic. Like that's a good call. But I don't know when that CPU came out, but still. Maddie has the first gen iCore with four-way SLI using EVGA. I mean, that's impressive. There's a few YouTube creators that I really like that do stuff like that. Like one found the newest parts possible to run Windows, I think 98. And then like you have Matt KC who does similar stuff to that. Like, yeah, no, retro computer stuff at this point is really fun because you're just like, I can tinker with the stuff I really wanted to tinker with. You had three-way SLI in 2009. I kind of hate you for that one. I still have old school RAM. I have I'm trying to remember what RAM it is. The one where you had to have like all the slots filled and so you had like a dummy stick you would put in the slot you're not using or you don't have RAM for. Like I have that RAM. I have all the way back to that. I love like that level of old technology. Also, let me see if I can get this thing turned back on. You paid $666. I mean, at that point, I feel like you're just making a deal with the devil for your computer. Okay, I get the feeling that the button on this thing is not really there. Let's see if that'll get it turned on. And I'll just keep the case off of it. I miss when like it was like a cyberpunk person on the card. Okay, maybe Ubuntu hated the fact that I turned off the power to the screen. This is also one of those HP. What has happened recently where we've had so many different like computers that the power button doesn't just instantly work. Like my laptop, I have to hit that power button like 4 times to get it to turn on. Oh, I'm an idiot. It was probably working just fine. I just had it plugged into the wrong port on my screen. This one is actually a pain in the butt to jump. I like being able to just lean over to the left and get a cup of Kool-Aid. There's a scent module in it. Yeah, no, I love this lapel monitor, especially because it's USB-C input. Um, but I kind of wish both the USB-C ports on the side were both video input instead of one of them just being for power. Oh, I'm drinking the fruit punch Kool-Aid. Like, you know that big container you can get that's blue and it's fruit punch? That's what I drink. I don't know if it's because of the tism or because of the ADHD, but sometimes drinking water is beyond impossible. Like, my brain just won't do it. And so I usually have like the big container of Kool-Aid and I'll just sprinkle some in the water so that my brain goes, "Oh, yay, flavor. Woo!" Why not jungle juice? Because I'm not trying to get blackout drunk on a random Wednesday. Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Tuesday. I'm streaming right now, and I only stream on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I don't know what day of the week it is. I thought it was Wednesday, even though I'm streaming right now. Yeah, no. RFK's brainworm is going to take away food dyes. Which, by the way, anyone watching the news right now, have they finally announced that Mitch is dead? Because apparently the Secret Service was at his hospital. Yes, Zoe, you're a terrible influence. Yeah, no, like supposedly the rumor is he's been in a coma since he came into the hospital. And like it seems like they were going to announce, "Oh, he's been somewhat stable in the hospital, but he can't come out of the hospital until like the August deadline when the governor would have no ability to replace him." Um but it just makes them look so bad when it's finally announced that he's dead and then the info comes out that he's been like in a coma the whole time and brain dead. Like, yeah. No, like the whole thing, I'm just like, it's such a bad look because you have so many people going, "I had a 20-minute phone call with him today. He's doing just fine." And it's like, if it turns out he wasn't doing just fine during that time, that looks really bad for you. Yeah, I don't think they care about looking bad at this point. Yeah, the one that was literally in the dementia ward of a nursing home. I hate it here. Yeah, I'll admit it. We're the laughing stock of the world. Oh, I've been loving like the different like posts on threads. One of my favorites is the character from Sixth Sense. It's him holding up the blanket and it just has like the news like bottom bar saying Mitch McConnell's spokesperson said they talked to him earlier today. I didn't even look up to find out who won the game yesterday, but it makes me so happy that Belgium beat the US, especially after the US straight up cheated. Hey, Maddie, it's okay. All of us lost the game. You're all welcome. Um, but the fact that like the US straight up cheated to get their player unremoved from the game, and then we lost. Like, that's just like the icing on the cake. Trying to go through all my notifications really quick. That's a very low number of new followers for today for me streaming today. As I'm looking at. Yeah, no, that's only like 15 followers for TikTok live stream. Wow. That was bad. Yeah. My screen just turned off. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna go so that way I can cook some food and start working on this server a bit more and get the repairs done that I need to get done. I have multiple diagnostics that I need to get done today. And I also would like to do a phone call with my partner, and I'm also gonna go over and swim for a little bit and soak in a hot tub. So yeah, I'm I'm gonna head off for the day. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I will be back live on Thursday. And if that doesn't work for you, I'm also live on Sunday. And if you have any questions, I will see you guys then. Oh, I've been doing the virtual camera for TikTok still this whole time.